Welcome to Tough Talk. Join the conversation with Kiwi men as they tell their stories and talk about what they do for me time, what it takes to be tough on the inside, and how to be a good mate. Kia ora Devon, aka Space Jesus, or Safety Dev.
Either or, depending on the day. Kia ora Sam.
So Devon, I thought we could just start off by hearing a little bit about your story.
I guess so. My earliest memories are kind of around 8 years old, where I actually started to build a little bit of a character around myself. Sneaking my skateboard into primary school, olling the cool little 5 stairs that hit around while the teachers weren't around, that sort of thing. I kind of lived and breathed skateboarding as much as I possibly could. Every waking minute of every day that I had available to myself, it was, what curb could I wax up and grind, or what kind of driveway could I build a little ramp in and stuff like that. My mum was a single mum for most of my life, up until about 10 years old actually, when my stepdad came in, but moved into my nana's house. Nana had a neighbour who was kind of like the super duper cool kid who was 4 years older than me, and he was kind of like everything I wanted to be.
Yep.
So I was always going over to his house, knocking on his door, Mark, you in there? Come on out, bro. And he'd start playing guitar or learning guitar. I'd go over and be like, oh, electric guitar, that's the coolest thing I've ever seen in my life. Give me a go. So I started learning guitar, and my stepdad came into my life. There's not many people in the world that I'm scared of or intimidated by, but he's number one, and he made me feel this big all the time. He moved in, and I didn't feel like myself anymore. I started to question what I was doing, because he'd be like, it'd make me feel like I'm not good at anything. It'd make me feel like everything I do wasn't the right thing to do. He made me feel like I was walking on eggshells all the time. I had restless sleeps for 10 years. It was, my heart's fucking palpitating right now, and I get a little bit, my voice trembles, and just even thinking about it, it makes me nervous. The fact that he's still on this planet freaks me out. It's a suck feeling, because I feel like I'm a real confident guy, and I like to feel like I'm someone other people can rely on if they're feeling unsafe or unwell or anxious or anything. I want to be there for people. The number one thing I wish I could do in my life is help people. That's where I get the most satisfaction. And he stole all that from me, and I'm forever angry at him, and I wish I could get rid of that. I want to be the Devon I used to be, confident and empowered and motivated, which I am still. But I still feel like there's this underlying thing of, am I doing that right? Or, it's just there's always just a little level of uncertainty with lots of things that I do, which I struggle with. I guess, over the last couple of years, I have been made aware how anxious I am. I'm embracing it. I get fucking anxious sometimes. And sometimes I want to go hide away and not talk to anyone. But then realizing that, these people may, my friends or my family or anyone I know, may have expectations of the Devon that they know. I'm trying to hide this anxious person because I don't want to be that person. I don't want people to know that I'm anxious.
It's kind of confident skater kid, part of you that was growing, and then kind of in comes this kind of shadow
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
that kind of is coming up for you and actually really affecting you as an adult.
it's totally affecting me, and I guess I wasn't really made aware of how much it was affecting me until I embraced it. Yeah, it kind of sucks. I mean, a couple of years ago, I went to the doctors, I just can't be happy. Like, I'd come home and just burst into tears for no reason in front of people I don't want to cry in front of. And it was just such like a deflating thing that was happening in my life. I went down to the doctors and, yeah, the lady said I have chronic depression. And just like hearing that and thinking about the person that I am was just like oh my God, like, I'm fucking overwhelmed. This is crazy. That's unbelievably irresponsible of you to tell me that and give me no references to go and, check in. It was just like, this is fucked. I'm losing my mind right now. That was the last thing I needed to hear. So that didn't help. That was actually when I came and talked to you. Yeah. And you led me into mindfulness. And like, dude, how that changed my life. You have no idea. I started going to gymnastics. I stopped doing a bunch of like negative things I was doing in my life. It's like a repeating process. I pursued these paths that I would have never pursued. I went on this like 30K Marlborough Sounds hike with a bunch of my mates who own all of this land up there, and it was a life-changing experience. And just like the butterfly effect from sending you a text and be like, hey bro, I'm going through a bunch of rubbish stuff right now. Wouldn't mind someone be able to provide a little bit of clarity behind that for me, because my head's screwed up and I don't know what's going on. That was fundamental to my mental healing, and that's led on to a bunch of things now, and I'm in a really good place now. Like, I'm still struggling with anxiety and stuff like that, but I can somewhat not live with it, but be aware of it and acknowledge it and be okay with it. I have this kind of like idea of what I did, of what meditation is, and people say, oh, I can't shut my brain off. And that's what I thought was, I can't shut my brain off. Like, when I shut my eyes, I feel like rubber bands when I just hang open all the time. I don't have that level of mental focus in me. Just being able to do like diaphragmatic breathing and, do all that mindfulness in such a short period of time as well, and notice an instant change and just feel like, wow, I've actually just learned a tool that I can use in my life for these tiny little instances or circumstances or moments in my life which are out of my control. And that was an awesome thing to learn. And thank you so much for that.
Pleasure.
That was crazy cool.
How do you find, because I know I was talking to you recently, you said you don't sit and practice a lot, but you're still sort of fitting it into your life. How are you practicing these days?
Yeah, I mean, when I have a little crazy moment and I'm by myself, I go in circles in my head, I will sit down and breathe and straight back and through the nose, out the mouth, focus on all the things he said. It helps. But also say, I wake up in the morning and, I've had 6 hours worth of sleep and a 12-hour day yesterday and the day before and the day before, and just that constant grind at work and never meeting the requirements. I will do mindfulness on the way to work, and it just focusing on diaphragmatic breathing and just focusing on the, barrel vision of the road, tunnel vision of the road, and it actually does kind of, like, I can feel it overcome my body and just like, it relaxes me a bunch. And then halfway on that 10-minute drive to work, driving the coast down Island Bay, which is lovely, seeing the waves crashing in and everything, halfway to work, I just have that like change of mindset, just like, that's all good. I kind of realised you can do mindfulness anywhere. On the way to town in the market, if I'm having a rubbish time in my head, I just lots of diaphragmatic breathing. I do it a lot in the car.
I remember talking to you too, because I think we can apply it to lots of things just as we're doing things. I remember talking to you about like the calm focus, and then you brought up that story of bandsaw. I thought that was a really cool like illustration of mindfulness as you're getting stuff done.
Yeah. So bandsawing, that was a funny one actually. So I was at uni and I was in this workshop. I had this like nice piece of Remu. I was like, sweet, I need to cut this in half and then I can carry on with my project that I'm working on. Ruler, I need a ruler because I need a perfect straight line. Like looking around for a ruler, time deadlines and stuff like that. Stuff it. I'm just going to throw it through the bandsaw, cut a straight line, and then carry on. It'll be mint. I'm not going to waste any time looking for a ruler. Bandsawing kicks in. Rubbish. It was, a rubbish moment because I went straight up the bandsaw, like this, cut this yuck ugly curvy line through this beautiful piece of Remu that I'd taken a couple of days to source. And ruined the material I had, and then had to go and source another piece of material, which did take a couple of days. So if I just was like, it's all good, realise that the deadline's not the most important thing, go and find a ruler, measure your stuff out, cut a nice straight line, a nice systematic process, as I normally do, throw it in the bandsaw, perfect straight line, may have taken a couple of minutes extra. Now I've got the wood I need in the right shape, but I did it. And it's not about the big wins in life, it's about the little wins. It's about the little things that give you the mean satisfaction. Like that car outside I've had for 12 years and I'm still waiting to do a massive burnout and pop the tyres, It's taken me ages and it's almost like a really hard thing to be able to finish. It's a really hard thing to be able to finish because it's a massive, massive project. Sometimes I just need to step back and slow down and realise that, I don't need a bandsaw all the time.
On your journey, did you find it ever hard? You reached out to me at one point, but within New Zealand culture, you always talk about the dark stuff. Did you ever find that has influenced your journey?
In this day and age, lots of people do villainise people instantly.
True.
And that's what I struggle a lot with, because no one's perfect. No one knows everything. No one's up to date with every PC thing that's going on in the world at the moment. And I guess that can be brought back to, saying the wrong thing as well. If someone says something that affects someone who's, gender identity is going from male to female or female to male or something, and you just say the wrong thing to them, you can pull them aside and say, hey bro, I know you probably don't know this, but that may actually affect that person. It's probably not the right thing to say. Just bringing awareness to those little sorts of things.
I think it's good. Just one-to-one, not in front of everyone else, so you're not shaming someone.
Yeah, man, it sucks being called out, especially in a crowd. Yeah, everyone's not perfect. Everyone does have these perfect ideals of what they want to be in life. And living up to that is the hardest thing you can do. Yeah.
I'm going to leave it there, Devon. You've really shared some amazing wisdom and right from the heart as well, like your own story. So thanks so much.
Oh man, that was awesome. It was nice to be able to verbalise that for once in a while. I haven't actually talked about these things in ages, and I feel so much more relaxed now having done it. Man, thanks, bro. Champion. Oh. Legend. Bloody good. Please, check my eyes.
Kia ora. If you like what you see, follow us on Facebook or Instagram. Subscribe on YouTube or go to our website to sign up for email updates from me. Keep liking and sharing our videos to grow the movement. Peace.